Welcome to another one of my videos today. We're going to be covering on another really sensitive topic where the generational gap of autonomy versus traditionalism touches itself again. And now it plants itself somewhere right here where it really causes a lot of suppressive factors. Alright, so number one, let's cover the basics. What's really sad about this, y'all, is that there are so many others my age that are locked away within terrible friend groups. They've been painted as terrible people online, even though they're really genuine people in real life. And now let's look at that down. Now that they have abusive parents, they have parents that are unwilling to help them. All right. Let's say they have said this or that online, but was based off of a misunderstanding, and now they're being painted as a terrible person. Now that they have struggling mental health issues too, what really makes me sad is I wish I could help all of them. I wish I could just give them like a simple, well, like hug, simple gesture. Because number one, I do acknowledge here that there are teenagers like them that do exist. There are teenagers like us that very much definitely exist out there somewhere, silent. Especially when they add that they're also kind of like a nuanced or neutral person. Let's say they're still an emotional person regardless. When we add that, it's another layer of misunderstanding that I wish I could help. I know I won't be able to help everyone, but it just sucks though, knowing that there's a lot of people out there that are going through, a lot. Their world is way more heavier than mine. What they're taking through is a lot. What really sucks here is that they're forced to conform to these molds within high school. They're forced to conform to their own parents' expectations, and they're forced to do this or that. But when in reality, they're suppressed from becoming their authentic selves. What really sucks about this, is that I wish I could help all of these people. I wish I could give them like a simple real life hug, one that lasts like 20 seconds. Ultimately speaking, it's gonna be really difficult trying to help and find these people because they've also formed a resistance to help. A juxtaposition between wanting help and not wanting help, and it really sucks. I wish I could help them, but knowing that there's very little I could do because they're being suppressed by their own families. Sometimes I wish I could just teleport them into my own house. Give them the care, give them the love that they have never ever seen before. Give them everything, give them my entire heart. But then again, I know even my own parents suppress me sometimes. I know that once I invite a girl over, they're gonna be really skeptical. They'll be really suspicious about what I'm gonna be doing. Ultimately speaking, where that comes to any situation at that point, I myself am also being suppressed too. I hold my own emotional weight sometimes because I know my parents still force me to go to these expectations to be able to want to do this or that. Let me take off my glasses. Being forced, uh, being forced to do this or that, being confronted with parental expectations, also adding that there's other people that suffer my age, especially with my parents too, looking at their especially with my friends' parents too, looking at definitely their one-sided mindset of you have to take college, you have to take this path or that you'll never be successful. It really sucks here because it really highlights that generational divide between autonomy versus traditionalism. Now it's seeping its way into parental relationships. What really sucks here is that both sides are really entrenched onto their own viewpoints. I stay balanced, but ultimately the parents have resistance. All right, it really sucks though because they're gonna be the child is forced in a juxtaposition because they know they're gonna get kicked out if they take this path or don't. Ultimately, they'll be in they'll be in plays with the housing prices today. Housing prices today is probably gonna triple by like 2035 by then, and it's gonna be really expensive. Apartment prices too are eventually going to rise. What really sucks here is that the parents have kind of an emotional guilt tripping chance here. Like they know their child's eventually gonna crawl back. They're eventually gonna crawl back from a life they tried to make for themselves, try to free themselves of their own parents' control. But knowing that they're gonna be forced to do this or that, it just breaks my heart because looking at it long term, bro, I know the economy is already going down. All right, housing prices are gonna go high. I really hope Trump does something to lower them so that once I turn 18, I'll have a chance at least getting something. But looking at it again, I'm really hoping that looking at it long term, I know a lot of teenagers my age are absolutely doomed. We are absolutely cooked. Because I know, number one, I won't be taking college. I won't be taking this path or that path. I won't be taking the path my parents prescribed me to. I'm going to be taking trade school. I'm going to be joining the workforce pretty early. I'm going to be taking on a media career. But really sucks is I myself might also get kicked out too. All right, heck, even my parents have challenged me on that before, saying, "You quote unquote, you'll crawl back," and it really sucks here. As it breaks my heart because I know I'm beginning to think maybe the love between even my own friends' parents too is conditional. Maybe the times that I get terrible grades, they'll be extremely mad, but only when my grades are going up, they'll only be happy. Especially when I've seen what my friends' parents have said before when they were speaking to them, quote unquote, all you show no compassion, you show no empathy, and quote unquote, you're on your phone all day, you're in your room all day. It just breaks my heart, bro. Like, eventually I'm gonna internalize that too. I know the parents most likely don't mean that, but it still hurts, bro. Looking at what they're going through, it just absolutely hurts. Because I know even my own parents, they all said a lot of things in the heat of the argument that I know I might remember too. All right, it's just really a really personal case for me when it comes to this issue. Because planning out my future, the negative but most likely outcome is I might get kicked out. I'll definitely need y'all support when that time comes. But I don't know, some way, somehow, some way. But in the case that does actually happen, I will need your guys' support. But looking at it again, it really sucks because this generational divide between autonomy versus traditionalism is way deeper than it has to be. Especially when people have resistance to this or that. Now let's apply this back into teenagers. Teenagers my age. Teenagers with my heart. Teenagers with this or that and all everything. Alright? Right now we're kind of in a safe position. Alright, but the really big trick no, not really big trick here. The really big problems here. Number one, housing crisis. Number two, parental controls. All right, they want us to do this or that, but I know I want to take a different path, but I'm being limited with my choices because ultimately it's a really complex issue. I'm really hoping not to get locked away in my own locked away by expectations. But now looking at it again, looking at teenagers again, uh, it really sucks though, because there's still a lot of people that are stuck in terrible friend groups. There are still a lot of people that are stuck in there are a lot of people that are stuck in this outcome. They're stuck having to conform to all of these all at once, knowing that it's really overwhelming. I wish I could just help them. Maybe I don't know, but I wish it was something that I could do to people because I know like there's a lot of people my age that do absolutely exist. All right, I really I wish that there was like some way somehow that I could help. But ultimately speaking, this is really difficult. It's a really difficult thing to speak on today. And I do apologize for oversimplifying a few things, but ultimately speaking, y'all, it's difficult looking at this topic here because it's really complex. The highlights between autonomy versus traditionalism, especially when I also had mental health issues too. Well, and also my parents have also, no, my friends' parents have also said this or that to them. It really sucks sometimes. They probably don't mean it, but it just stays for a while. That's all I'm really gonna say.